Yeah, we'll see. Oh, whoa, here we go. Draft is on the screen right now. Fated Ashes.
Let's get into this.
Willow sticking with the Lulu. You have to respect the commitment. Wait, hold on a minute. CUDDERS Cuties going with the exact same draft minus the who is it that they've swapped out? The Jax.
They had Jax. They now have Ambessa. So you can see they've clearly decided to keep the red side here because there was their choice going into game 2. So they're clearly valuing getting Mr. Callisti on something that he can actually potentially carry on. And yeah, it looks like they've gone for the Ambessa here. So otherwise, though, you're right. It is a carbon copy. And we can see there in the second phase of bans, they did take away the Kassadin. So it looks like now Fated Ashes have put Valkadol on the Gragas mid. So a little bit of a Jackalex call out. His LeBlanc is bad and his Gragas is worse. But, you know, well, yeah, can't keep getting away with the Lulu for sure. Top tier pick right now.
Who's letting the Lulu slide through, man?
Gonna keep that Caitlyn safe. I'm 100% sure of it. We'll see how it goes, though. Otherwise, though, we could see on the QE side is Gwen a top side ban or is it a jungle ban? I am not familiar with the champion pools of. I know Delicate Flowers whipped out the Gwen in their first series. I believe it was in game 2 against Father's Jewels. But
I mean, I'm gonna take a guess and a gamble, educated guess that if you are somebody that is comfortable piloting a champion such as Aatrox, Gwen is definitely in your pool as well. So I could see that being, yeah, it could be a flex ban even, you know, to cover both roles. It's more irritating for my OCD because I see these scattered subs from Jelly the Fish, right? I mean, ideally for my OCD, I would have preferred if it was all in one and then we could just do wham, big thing in one go. But you know, either way, the generosity is always appreciated. Jelly the Fish, you're the GOAT, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we take those 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Much appreciated. Yeah, let's see if the Fated Ashes will be able to close this out in the standard 2-0 fashion that we've seen so far throughout this tournament, or if CUDDERS Cuties are gonna provide us with our second game 3.
Well, I think the confidence from CUDDERS Cuties to go with 80% the same draft is definitely leaning to the fact that they must feel like it was an execution issue and not a draft issue. I mean, we also, by the way, this is the second time I believe we've seen it. It's actually the Gragas top. It's not the Gragas mid. It's the Tryndamere mid for the second time this go around for Fated Ashes. Yeah. I believe we saw Valkadol play in game 2 of their series against Father's Jewels as well.
And we did have confirmation as well that Glimpse of Us is Valky lol.
Yeah,
that's what the name changed. Yeah. So yeah, twice in a row picking out well, not in a row, but a few times now picking Tryndamere mid in this tournament.
I mean, it's not a standard pick, so for sure, it's definitely like a him special. But we'll see if it goes to the same level of success, because CUDDERS Cuties are not the same as Father's Jewels for sure, and so he may face more resistance here. But they were able to run away with that game in the round 1. So I vaguely remember, I think at 20 minutes, the Tryndamere was in the enemy base, just like uncontested. They hadn't even taken all the turrets yet, but he was just like up there near their nexus, just chilling, and they couldn't do anything about it. They tried to kill him, and it just didn't work out for them. So we will see if they have anywhere near that level of success in this game. But otherwise, it's looking like fairly standard lanes here. The Ambessa's getting a small lead in the top side, as was the case in the first game. Bot lane looks to be a little bit more equal. Twitch in game 1 did go down a little bit in CS, but it looks like Caitlyn is a lot more early game focused and a lot more agency in the early game than Twitch has.
100%. So, and she translates fairly well into the late game as well with the headshot.
100%. Yeah, very similar to like Tristana. Caitlyn is one of those champions that's like strong in the early game, kind of dips in the mid game, and then strong in the late game where they can end up two-shotting people because of the just because of the sheer damage. But I think it also depends on the build. Like, I know there's a lethality build that was really popular with Caitlyn for a long time that focused on one-shotting squishies. That one is less potent in the late game, but we'll have to see what Race Car Worm 49 builds to see if that is where they go with this. We can have a quick look just to see like runes and masteries and see if there's anything non-standard going on. I mean, obviously the Tryndamere mid is non-standard in general. We've got some kind of scuffle going on the top side. AutoCam doesn't want us to know about it though, so never mind.
It seems like we just had a meeting of sorts, but a glimpse of us being aggressive. Didn't anticipate Cuddler showing up into the lane, so Flash coming out from glimpse of us. Not a big issue for Tryndamere to lose his Flash, considering he has he has his E that he can reduce the cooldown of every time he crits. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna be fine for the most part. But Cuddler here, possibly getting a taste of his own medicine, will also be forced to Flash by a glimpse of us showing up to support his jungler.
Yeah, good aggro there by Wilma, knowing that she can push in on the Lilia and just Lilia is one of the most infuriating champions to face, in my opinion. Their mobility is insane. Their damage is really good. Obviously, in the early stages of the game, it's not insane damage, but like as the game progresses, their just pure DPS is actually quite high for a jungler in general. And I think a lot more of their damage profile will focus on Wilmer in this game, as opposed to last game where Jarvan is much more of just a go button. So don't get me wrong, the Lilia can be used as the go button, but it's not as strong as the flag and drag or the cataclysm by Jarvan. You need to land damage on several targets and then do the sleep situation. Oh, cheeky turret shot on Cliffy there.
Delicate Flower might find something here. No, it doesn't seem like it. Clisty will escape thanks to the incredible amounts of mobility that Ambessa has access to. But I mean, Delicate Flowers in a change of tune from the first game, is having a pretty solid laning phase here in this game too. 43 to 37 CS. Yeah, it's looking good.
I mean, to be fair to them, as we saw in game one, I think the early game, like the early laning phase, went in the way of Cuties, but as they got to about 20 minutes or so, they had like a 40 CS lead or something. It was a fairly sizable lead. So and they did lose their tier 1 turret. Oh, here we go with the dive. The hubris.
Dying with ult as Tryndamere has to be the worst moment ever. And that was first blood as well. He just donated it. He was having a great time in lane. 57 to 35 CS against a mage as Tryndamere. It's crazy. But decides, oh, you know what? I just want to make this a little harder for myself. Gives the first kill to Adler there. Really unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if that will somehow dictate how this lane goes in mid, but we do have to remember it is also a Tryndamere. I mean, yeah, one time for the one time. See how it all went down.
Yeah, it's a rough one here. Like, you can see the confidence, but just the execution is not 100% there. Not entirely sure what happens, to be honest, but they're just gonna run it straight back into lane and carry on farming up a storm, right? I'd argue that might be his death there is probably why they were able to get that Drake, which we didn't actually touch on it, but Wilma was able to kill the grubs on their own with 0 contest. So it's ended up, because of the death mid, being a trade of objectives. But had Tryndamere not died there, I think they could have contested, and it shows it definitely. Oh, okay, Delicate Flower might die here.
Oh my goodness! Hold on a second. Oh, and the flash to avoid the Gragas ult as well. Clisty with an incredible outplay right there, showing that regardless of the champion, is able to still win 1v1s in this top lane early. Yeah, great play overall.
Yeah, that was a big execute there by the Ambessa. And you're really seeing, you know, what the Ambessa is all about there with the 5 million dashes, 200-year gameplay, you know? It's so hard for a Gragas to be able to land their utility, to be able to land their skill shots, because every single time Ambessa hits something, they get a free dash. It's a joke. It's just what a champ, you know? But we'll see if they can. We've got a pickaxe here and a longsword, so it looks like it's probably building into an eclipse for Ambessa. And oh, I didn't think about that, but the ultimate out of Caitlyn is
reflecting.
Not the best against Mel. Mel can just bounce that thing. Yeah. Which is rough going for them, but you know, we'll see. I mean, they're close on CS. Wilma here lands the sleep on Cuddler.
Oh my goodness.
Kill him. In his own jungle, no less, by the way. It is a hard time to be Cuddler 04 right now.
I think the worst part about that as well is that the kill did go over to Tryndamere. You know, the Wilma donating it to Glimpse of Us for, you know, doing the same and handing over some gold. Yeah, we've got a replay of it right here. I mean, I think this was really well played by Wilma. The great patience to not hit Zin as soon as the sleep came out, you know, delaying it so Glimpse of Us could catch up and pick it up, I guess. I don't know if that was communicated or not, but yeah, a kill given to your mid laner is usually a good idea.
100%, I agree. While I don't think it was particularly mechanical, knowing what you can and can't get away with on a champion like Lilia, because Lilia is not a beefy or tanky champion. Knowing what you can get away with in those kind of instances, it makes the difference. It's the difference between someone who's super competent on the champion and someone who isn't, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
And being able to just abuse the Zinjao there, because the Zinjao couldn't do anything. Handing it over to Tryndamere is kind of a little benefit, you know. This is a little kind of reward at the end there that kind of will hopefully smooth over the negative consequences of him forgetting to press R a few minutes earlier. But you know, if you're Fated Ashes right now, you got a 1k gold lead, you got the first 3 set of grubs. Also, something we haven't mentioned but is definitely going to be on their mind, getting 6 grubs for a team like Fated Ashes with their comp right now.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Anything less than 6 grubs. I mean, if they get 4, they're still happy. And you can see here the cuties are aware of it. They're like, nah, you can't have that. Not today, son. Because if they got 6 grubs, Tryndamere becomes so much more of a problem. Caitlyn becomes so much more of a problem. It might be a kill here. No, never mind. Tom is going to get away.
I think the one thing that you touched on before about the reflect, that mental stack being in Racecar's mind, he didn't even press R. You know, he has it off cooldown and opted not to use it. So, yeah.
What would be the point? So it makes sense for him to not bother, because all that Tom has to do is press W, and then it's going to end up hitting him. And you got to remember, the damage off of Caitlyn is really strong against squishy targets, and it looks like the Sona's dead. It's all over for them, surely. Never mind.
Hold on a minute. Tryndamere is Tryndamere. Tryndamere is probably going to face the same fate under his turret. Tryndamere finally comes out. Shout out to Glimpse of Us for pressing R. Meanwhile, Turkey Flaps and Cuddler trying to, I guess, collect the bodies of their fallen teammates, but the artillery from Xerath coming out, tried to get a last hit onto Tryndamere, but no luck there. Yeah, two kills over to Fated Ashes with, no casualties.
Yeah, I mean, again, for the cuties in this game, it's kind of a completely different tale. Outside of top side, every other lane is not going quite as well as you would hope. There's a nearly, what we're talking, 30 CS, no, more like 40 CS lead in the mid lane. So Valkadol's having a field day, even though he did make that misplay a few minutes ago. He's not been punished for it at all. Bot lane is equal, but they're not able to accrue anything. And also with all of the here we go, public execution gonna come out here under the turret. Gonna take a turret shot. It's gonna be a 1-for-1. I think you're not happy with that if you're CUDDERS cuties, though, no? because they were already
Yeah.
behind, and he had to burn his flash, he had to burn his ult. He was the person that was actually, you know, taking charge of the play. To still die there is I don't know. It's rough. It was a really well executed play.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're not happy with it, in my opinion. If you died in the exchange, it's not great for them for sure. I think, oh yeah, we're gonna quickly get a cheeky replay of the play here on the bot side. Sona none the wiser. I eat booty hole, got that booty eaten here. Missed the ultimate as well. It's kind of rough, but yeah, it's there was no way for them to know. I think that those guys were chilling there. I don't see any vision inside that bottom half of the jungle. And one thing we can talk about here while we've got this replay going is the fact they have been living in CUDDERS QE's jungle this game. This is not the first play we've seen this game alone. Then we can see the public execution. I think that, yeah, the belly toss there is the difference maker. It just allowed them to get one more turret shot on him and he goes down. But as I was saying, they've been living
Oh, hold
in
on a
CUDDERS QE's
second.
jungle. Look at where Wilma is on the minimap right now. It's crazy, and it does look like Clisty's taking maybe a little bit more than he can chew here, but goddamn.
I mean, Clisty is very clearly comfortable in this top lane, playing overly aggressive. Wilma also very confidently stealing away that red buff, especially with support coming out from Tryndamere. You have nothing to be afraid of in that case. Yeah, I mean, Clisty is having the time of his life in this top lane, honestly. Wilma hasn't showed up until now, so he's having complete free reign. Possibly might go down though. Is currently in a scuffle while the bot lane are also fighting head to head. Listy trying to dash away to get under turret, but will fall to the Leandri's tick. And yeah, also Tryndamere picking up the first turret of the game.
Yeah, I think if you're the Fated Ashes right now, you're in a good place, right? Like I said, the Lilia has been making Zin's life hell. You can see there's a 50 CS lead in the jungle right now. So a lot of the red side camps have just been property of Fated Ashes so far. We see Sleepy Willow maybe getting caught out here. No, never mind. They're all good. It looks like the fight isn't going to end up happening here. And, oh,
that is exactly what you called out. I think it was the.
That did no damage.
I think it
the
was
shielding is insane.
Yeah, I think it was just a fat shield coming out from Willow there on the Lulu. I mean, I believe that amulet that I see there is a complete item, right? That is the first item that Willow has picked up. No?
No, that's not a completed item. I think that's called like Bandle Glass Charm or something. My lack of support item knowledge is showing. I think it's called Bandle Glass something. And I think it's made of like 2 or 3 of the mana gems, like the little things that give mana regen.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. There's
the full
I believe
item.
that's Moonstone Renewer. So that's yeah. Moonstone Renewer is the shields and heals have fun kind of item. You know, it's again my lack of support knowledge is showing as Mr. Clissy's about to get popped under his own turret. God damn. This two-man duo or two-person duo of Wilma and Glimpse of Us or Valkadol is really potent in this game. And most of the gold, if we could quickly flicker over to have a look at the gold leads. Oh, it looks like Cuddler's caught out in his own jungle again. Rough times, man.
Dude, how do you get caught out in your own neighborhood? That is the worst feeling.
This is like the equivalent of, have you seen Friday?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen Friday, bro. You need to watch that movie, dude. But for the people in the chat who have seen Friday, Wilma is Debo right now on a little bike, just rolling up. Everybody's hiding their chains when they roll up. You know, like that's what's happening in this game. Enemy jungle is the hood, and Wilma is Debo, and it's peak for Cuddler right now. None of his camps are his. He still has an unfinished jungle item. He still has to clear 3 camps to be able to even get the 1200 smite at like 18 minutes right now. It's
see
hard
Tom there as well.
Here.
Yeah, Tom standing guard, making sure that he's able to secure those wolves there. I mean, it's just miserable stuff. Might get the scuttle crab here, but the bot lane from Fated Ashes are in the area.
I think he's getting it.
Come on, man.
Oh,
yeah, I hate to see it. Racecar stole it. Yep. Racecar stole the scuttle crab. That's a really nice pickup for the Fated Ashes team, though, because now they have complete control of this dragon pit. No vision for the CUTIES. This is a stark contrast to the first game where they had command and vision in the bot side river. Yeah, and it's now
they can't get vision control because it's not their jungle anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they can't. Where are they going to get it? Where's Sona going to go and throw themselves out into the darkness, where, you know, Caitlyn can two-shot her, and the Tryndamere can one-shot them, and the Lilia can one-shot them. Basically, if they see anyone that isn't Lulu, they die. And so you can't really go out unless your team are willing to go with you. And then Xin Zhao can't even get any of his own camps. So, you know, like, they can't get vision control. They can't do anything in this situation other than just pray that someone on Fated Ashes is caught out, and then they can try and seize control that way. But, you know, the chokehold right now that they have and the control they have, I don't think I've seen, outside of the attempt to get that scuttle crab that obviously went awry, and then I think they also got the wolves. But, like, look again, Lilia's farming red side jungle. That jungle is their jungle. The whole jungle is their jungle, and Turkey Flaps is getting dove here. But good flash.
My god, flashing gauge as well. Wow. I mean, look, you're talking about the jungle belonging to Fated Ashes. The lanes apparently belong to Valky lol. In this entire game, what is a turret? He has no bounds, no limits. Just has to pop ult, can go wherever he pleases, you know, putting Mundo to shame. And I mean, yeah, then you just see moments like this happen. This is just textbook Tryndamere play. As Xerath, you shouldn't have even been there in the first place without help.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, it happened a lot in the first game as well with the Kassadin, where Valkador sees somebody who was just trying to catch waves, and then he would farm them. And it's happening here too. And, you know, we can see he's also got the Swifties because they got feats of strength. Those are going to be, when he does eventually upgrade them, that's going to be a problem as well, because his whole game plan in this game is going to be in a side lane and just to be a nuisance, right? And I mean, he's already a nuisance, a massive one at that. He's the biggest nuisance in this game currently. But there we see the reflect come out. No Caitlyn ult is ever going to land in this game, but I don't think you care too much if you're a 7k gold lead at 21 minutes, right? Just left, you know, just auto attack them. It does enough damage. You'll be fine. Oh, the reactive flash there from Cuddler straight into
hold on a minute.
Delicate Flowers. It's
Delicate
so
Flowers,
man. Oh,
dodging the Xerath ult as well. Trying, keeping it, staying alive. Glimpse of us though, Valky doll diving in, showing us how exactly you play Tryndamere mid optimally. Gets a double kill, dies for their efforts. I'd say that's a honorable kill. You know, being sent to Valhalla like that, you die a warrior, who cares? Picks up a clean double kill, donates 900 gold. Mr. Clisty though had to make something happen, but won't be able to find anything under that inhib turret.
Yeah, I mean, the double kill is you're happy to take it, right? If you're Fade Ashes, because it looks like it's going to be able to translate into an inhib. But once it doesn't translate into an inhib, you've just given over quite a lot of gold to the enemy team. Unfortunately, it went to the Sona. So if it had gone onto a carry threat, yeah, maybe you're worried about that, right? But having it go onto the Sona, who has just finished their second item, nearly the only person on their team to have 2 items, by the way. They've got their Echoes of Helia, I think, and which was their first item, and then Moonstone Renewer, and then Mel's the only other one with 2 complete items here. It is difficult times here. If you're the CUDDERS Cuties right now, I think you probably accept the fact that you're going to have to lose a couple more of the objectives. Just try to get as much gold as you can onto your primary carry, which would be presumably the Xerath and the Ambessa. But Xerath just got popped. So rough times. Ambessa's doing okay, you know, not great, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Clisty is probably the only one that's comfortable on the CUDDERS team, but everybody else in a massive deficit, as you pointed out. You know, 100%. And look at this again, unprecedented, rarely seen in this tournament is a completely uncontested Atakan. I mean, in the first game, it went to the CUDDERS Cuties, but this time around, Fated Ashes are 100% in control of this game.
I mean, you know, they have a 10k gold lead right now, which is, I only said they had a 7k gold lead maybe like 3 minutes ago, so it is rapidly increasing as this game is quickly running away from the Cuties. And I mean, look at them. Look at the jungle level lead. Wilmer's level 15 right now. Cuddler is only level 11. What can he do?
Oh my god.
He gets run down. It's so rough. I mean, god damn, you know? And then if we have a quick look at the other lanes, there's level leads in all of them. So Delicate Flowers has a lead on Clisty. Glimpse of Us has a lead on Turkey Flaps. Race Car is a level up on Tom. Like even Sleepy Willow is a level up on I Eat Booty Holes. Like it's, you know, it's rough times if you're Cuties right now. And,
it's funny you say that because who was it? Toby in the chat actually said, "Don't look at the level lead in jungle." 16 level 16 Wilmer on Lilia to Cuddler level 11. That is, it's not even 5 levels. That is a point difference in ultimate, right? That is insane.
It's huge. It's a huge difference. There's also a Flame Horizon in the jungle. There's a 110 CS difference right now. And I would like to point out, this is not me highlighting this to say like Cuddler is poor in comparison to Wilmer. I don't know what he could have done differently in this game right now. With the game state that it was when this lead began to balloon, there's not much he could have done. Honestly, like, you know, we've seen there's always been a two-man pair. It's always like Gragas and Lilia, or Tryndamere and Lilia going into his jungle and just messing with him. So it's been a real difficult one for sure. And we can see there he barely got out with his life on what was a non-committal trade for the Fated Ashes. So if you're CUDDERS Cuties right now, what's your plan to try and get back into this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is progressively seeming like a game that was lost in draft by the CUDDERS Cuties. You know, they went into this game with essentially the same choices as the first game, right? The only thing that they changed was their bans in the top lane because Jax was banned out. But yeah, aside from that, they picked the exact same team while they lost the first game. I don't understand what was the logic behind it. You know, choosing champions with the same champions to face your opponent. Look, Cuddler right there trying to make something happen, doesn't find the Baron steal, and then in turn now the Fated Ashes are just going to completely run over the CUDDERS Cuties. Clisty here getting caught out by 2 members and stuck between a rock and not even a rock, a round belly and a hard place. Triple kill coming out as well for Glimpse of Us on that Tryndamere. It's the end of surrender. There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, when you lose the first game in a series and you choose the same 80% of the same roster, all you have done is essentially handed over the victory to your opponent.